everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I would really like to know you, and I really want to know you. What is your name? Where are you watching from? How did you find my video? Who sent it to you? Let me know in the comments. And to all my returning subscribers, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Today, we're going to be discussing consistency, and this is something a lot of people have been asking me, and that's why I keep, repeating this, consistency topic on a, monthly basis or on a periodic basis. So today I'm going to share with you how to stay consistent, how to be consistent. And I want to assure you that it's not what you've heard before. Yes, so we're going to be coming to tackle the issue with consistency from a whole new perspective. So guys, while you're introducing yourselves, I would also go ahead and introduce myself as well. So besties, my name is Miriam. Introduce yourselves in the comments. I'm waiting for you guys. So guys, my name is Miriam. I'm based here in California. I'm a wife, a mom, a student, an entrepreneur. I'm also a fashion designer. And on this channel, I share 3 videos every week: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can also catch me live here on YouTube every Sundays, 1 p.m. Pacific time. So without further ado, guys, let's just get right into it. Yes, how to be consistent, how to actually stay consistent. I understand that, for a lot of people, you want to hear that, or you've heard, countless times that for you to stay consistent, you have to set clear goals, you have to, create a routine, you have to prioritize, but guess what? This may not be enough. Yes, it may not be enough for you, because the raw and honest truth, if I were to tell you the truth, is that you've actually heard these things times that number, and it has not made you take action consistently. And maybe, just maybe, there is something that is keeping you from walking and talking that version of yourself that is consistent. And today I'm going to be tackling how to be consistent. And honestly, in today's episode, I'm going to be starting with the mindset. I'm going to be like sharing a lot of views that truthfully, this is the real, this is actually what a lot of people have been facing. This is something that has actually also helped a lot of people like myself, to get out of that inconsistent zone. So today I'm going to be sharing with you how your mindset, how you can use your mindset, to help yourself become consistent from now going forward. So without further ado, and I also want to learn from you guys. And I hope that, when you have all the strategies that I'm going to be sharing today, once you have all of them laid out in front of you, you have all the confirmation to actually move forward. And guess what? This is the reason why I'm here today. I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how you can tackle the issue with consistency, just with your mindset, with the right mindset. Yes. A lot of people struggle with, mindset, but today, willpower is what we will be tackling. Yes, willpower, how to stay consistent using your willpower. Yes, today. So guys, and I understand that a lot of people tell themselves that I will try to, I would start something tomorrow. I'm going to stay consistent with my workout or my weight loss routine. And they find themselves drifting back into the life that they've always known. Some people actually struggle with addiction. And trust me, some people have actually been able to get out of this addiction. We're not talking 7 years, we're talking 30 years of addiction. Yes. And what's changed? Willpower. Yes, I understand the God factor is there. In fact, that's number one. If God helps you, if God is in the mix with you, if God is in the equation, then you have no problem. It gets easier by the day. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can use willpower to tackle the problem with inconsistency. And I know it is something that is really common. People, I'm sure you can relate with me when I say people set alarms. When they sleep, they want to wake up, they set alarms. And some people use this alarm 7 times before they wake up, or they even use it like 10 times before they actually finally wake up. When the alarm, snoozes, they change it, they add extra, or they make it snooze, and then it reminds them again after 10 minutes, and then after another 10 minutes. Some people don't even get up until like, well, this has been my story. I have been there before. But today, let's see how we can use willpower to actually get things done and to stay consistent without being hounded, or without even using a system at all to, help us become consistent, because it has to start from within. You have to get to a point where it doesn't feel like a burden, it doesn't feel like work, it doesn't feel like you're stressing yourself, it doesn't feel like someone is stressing you. You're doing this thing consistently, day in, day out, without any form of encouragement, without any form of, no one is trying to caress your ego to make you do it. You're actually doing it from the bottom of your heart. You're actually doing it by yourself. So, guys, come with me, let's go. So, guys, today I want to tell you that you can use willpower as a strategy to be consistent. And guess what? This is actually very possible. How do you use willpower? You have to pair it with structure. You have to pair it with the right habits. You have to pair it with self-awareness, because willpower, whether you like it or not, is like a muscle. You have to build it over time and it gets tired. So instead of relying on it all day, the goal is to actually use your willpower wisely, especially from the beginning. You're able so you're able to build routines that actually make consistency easier for you every single time. So, guys, for me, I'll be sharing my personal experience, my personal perspectives. These are things that actually worked for me in the past, and some other people as well, because of course I read a lot of books and I try to, I try to bounce my ideas around, like, oh, okay, you feel the same way, okay, you have the same perspective about this same issue or this same topic, and I'm able to also, hear from other people's point of view. Today, I'm going to be sharing exactly how I use willpower to become consistent. Today I'm going to be sharing how you can strategically use willpower to become consistent or to stay consistent. So, number one, you can use willpower to actually set your clear and simple goals. Yes, you can use willpower to set your clear and simple goals. I'm sorry, but to a very large extent, I can't relate to people who struggle with consistency. I mean, being inconsistent. I mean, I don't see myself struggling. That's what I mean. So if that's for lack of better words, I can't understand. I'm no longer there. In a nutshell, I'm no longer in a space where, I struggle to be consistent and all that. However, I'll tell you something. There are certain factors that may actually happen. Some factors may be truly hindering you from being consistent, and I'm being real here. There is actually something I do, last year, and I think I shared this on this, on this channel some time ago. A day after my birthday, which was last year in December, I started posting my blogs consistently. I was posting every single day, and it wasn't hard for me. It was something that, like I said, consistency is like second nature to me. It's has become a part of me, an integral part of me that can never be taken away by God's grace. And I started publishing an article every single day on my blog, but something happened. I had to quit the current, platform where I host my blog. And the reason is because I realized that I was due for monetization within like 2 months. So in the third month, I was ready to apply for monetization for my blog. But I discovered that the blog where I hosted my blog at the time were not monetizing. And I'm like, why should I be doing all these, all this work for free? So I decided to move to a different one, which is the basic one that everybody knows. I went for the premium version. But I now discovered that it was a very, very technical website to use. It was a very, very technical platform, like it wasn't what I was expecting, because I was ready to start churning out, my article every single day, as I always do. It's all about creating systems for yourself. But like I said, this is something I really want to do, but I discovered for 3 good months. First of it was moving my content from the previous one to the current one. It was not as easy as I thought. So I got someone to do that for me. And after doing that, I needed to move my own website, my website host itself, the underlying website. I had to move it from a different, from where I bought it to the current one, which I did. And then it wasn't all. I still wasn't able to, I have to wait for another, setup, maybe I think 48 hours from yesterday, though. And it wasn't as smooth. In cases like this, I'm not gonna say the reason for my being inconsistent on my blog is not because I didn't want to, or because I didn't schedule it, or because I didn't plan for it. No, this is actually due to circumstances that are beyond my doing everything humanly possible. And definitely once I'm back on board, you guys are gonna start hearing from me again. Like I'm actually very like ready, more than ready and able, and I'm ready to start to fire on. But this is one in, this is something that you cannot control, though. That's why I mentioned that in some cases there's certain factors that you cannot control. But if it's something that you can control, I think in everything else relies on you. As long as it's you, it's a you thing, then you've got it under control. And trust me, today I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how willpower is something that you can use to actually set goals for yourself. First thing you need to do is to be clear on what you want to be consistent on. Yes, because clarity reduces your mental resistance. Once you're clear on your goal, then you decide how you actually want to be consistent doing this thing. Is it monthly? Is it weekly? Is it daily? Is it bi-weekly? Is it bi-monthly? Is it bi-annually? Is it yearly? Is it annually? So you have to put it down in one sentence and put it somewhere visible. You need to write it down and be sure, be clear. That's why I said you have to use your willpower. You have the right to choose how you want to show up, in your space. You want to show up weekly, like this live stream. I go live every Sunday, every week. Although next week I will not be going live because I have something really important. I'm actually going to be on transit. So in transit, so next week I will not be going live. So this is something that is actually set in stone. I already know for sure that I will not be going live next week. But other than that, you need to know how you want to show up. When you talk about being consistent, if you're watching this video right now, if you're watching the replay, type the replay in the chat. And if you're watching live, just type live in the chat. So if you know for sure that as you're watching this video, there's something that you really struggle with being consistent in, what exactly is it? Write it down. Beyond knowing, I need to be consistent, how often do you want to show up? That's why I said use your willpower. How often? It's your own goal. It's up to you. So you have to set your own simple and clear goals. Write it down somewhere. How do you want it? How do you want to show up? Do you want to do it every day? Do you want to do it twice a day? It depends. I have friends who work out multiple times in a day. That works for them. Now, the next thing you need to do is to make big decisions once. Yes, make that big decision once. So once you say, I want to start this business or I want to start a YouTube channel, make that decision. Don't say, I want to start that same YouTube channel. You come back in 3 months' time and say, I want to start it. Don't do that. Do it once. Make that decision once and then work on it immediately. Work on it. Don't say I want to start. Oh, I started, but I've not started. We're not doing that around here. Because repeated decisions will actually drain your willpower. When you repeat it's the same decision. Why don't you just do it once? Make that big decision, make it once. Then you can actually decide things like, the time you're going to do the task, the tools you're going to be using. And even if you miss a day or two, guess what? It is not the end of the world. You need to move on. You also need to have a backup plan. You need to know what to do if you miss it. If you miss a day, what do? You move on. You simply move on, right? It's like missing or skipping a diet, and you don't fall down. You don't stay down just because, you've missed this diet today. Or what do I do? And then you miss. No, don't do that. It's okay to miss one day. It's okay to miss 2 days. But the most important thing is moving on quickly, so it's something that you also need to plan for. Subconsciously, you tell yourself, even if I miss a day, it's okay. Just move on. As consistent as I have been, there was a particular day on one of my YouTube channels. I have multiple YouTube channels. On one of my YouTube channels, hey, thank you so much for joining me. There was actually one of my channels that I thought I was going to be scheduled. I thought I was going to publish a video, and I realized in the afternoon, it was already too late. I realized in the afternoon that I did not click, I did not set the dates properly. So I missed that day. Doesn't mean that because I missed that day, I shouldn't, I should stop, turning out content. No, I will still. The fact that I missed the day doesn't mean that I should give up on myself. No. So I kept on, I kept on publishing more videos. So even if you miss a day or two, it's okay. Just learn to, get a backup plan, learn how to move on, and like I said, make that big decision once. Don't come back again so that you don't look like someone that is not serious. That big decision to do something and then continue on that path. And the third thing I want to say is to start small, and let your momentum build. I remember when I started working out, I don't think I did 2 hours the very first day. I think I did about an hour or so. But with time, I made it 2 hours. I extended because I walk, so I extended my routes, and I was able to accommodate all the routes in 2 hours. Sometimes I even do 3 hours. Yes. Sometimes I do 2.5 hours. Sometimes 2 hours and 45 minutes. So start small and let momentum build. Because tiny consistent wins will help to strengthen your willpower. Tiny, as long as you're consistently doing the right thing, like every day or every week or every month, just make sure that you show up. And there's something I still do, which is I offer free YouTube training once every month. And I've been consistently doing this for the past 3 years. I've been doing this consistently for the past 3 years. The only time of the year that I do not do it is in December, that I know that, people are actually in holiday mode. People want to have fun. People want to do other things, and because I don't want to take that away from people, then I skip December for that reason. So tiny, consistent wins will actually strengthen willpower. How did I get started too? I attended one, event, and I realized I was the only person at the event. That was what actually inspired me. I realized I was the only one at the event, and I was like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on around here? And I asked the convener, the person who organized the event, I'm like, where is everyone else? And he said, um, they are coming, and they never did. It was for an hour. They never did. And that was the day I told myself, I've been wanting to start something like this for myself. And then I got started on the same day. I scheduled my very first event, and I started to push out the information everywhere on my social media status, on my Facebook, on my TikTok, everywhere. And then people started signing up. As we speak, I have about 3,000 email lists just from the, which is organic, just from the events that I do every single month. So that's why I said tiny, consistent wins strengthen willpower. Now, if it means just committing 5 to 15 minutes a day, yes, per day of the week, every single day, 5 to 15 minutes for the task that you're trying to be consistent with. If it means 5 to 15 minutes, like every single day, it's going to go a long way. And like I said, I struggle. I just explained how I struggled with my blog, and how, moving from the previous host to the current host has been really challenging for me. First, I thought it was going to be very smooth, but it wasn't, and then I had to commit to certain amount of, time to actually learn how to use it, like not every day, but like every week. I try to devote time to do, to learn more about how to use the platform every single week. And it's been really challenging. But guess what? I am still able to record, even if it's tiny little progress. I have been able to. At least where I was 3 months ago is not where I am right now. Now I figured out a better way to actually use the system. I've downloaded the right things. I've had to pay for certain things to make it, quite smooth and easier, to use. So commit to, even if it's 5 to 15 minutes every day, for the task that you're trying to be consistent with. You can also lower the resistance, yes, by telling yourself that you just need to show up for 5 minutes. You just need to, show up for yourself for 5 minutes. There's something I'm also doing in recent times. I've been trying, I've been wanting, I've been yearning, I've been thirsting to actually read the entire Bible, someday, the entire Bible. And God willing, I have started the process already. I have started reading it already. And you know, th- I was I was going to tell my friend yesterday that, I can read the Bible in a week. Yes, I can, but I will not. Why? Because even the ones that I read like 2 days ago, it's taking me time it has to sink in, the things that you read, because the Bible is not just a novel, it's not just a book, it's the living word. So for the Bible, yes, my plan is to read the whole of the Bible, hopefully before the end of this year. I'm not going to make it a week, definitely, because there's some things that I need to digest, because I'm seeing things I've never heard of before, even though I've been a Christian for quite a while now, but I'm seeing certain things. I'm like, hey, this thing happened. Wow, okay. Oh, people are even negotiating with God. Like, seriously? back in the days. So if you really want to do something, you can actually lower the resistance by committing to just few, even if it's 5 minutes that you're able to commit to, reading your books or reading the word or doing anything that you really want to do, even if it's just 5 minutes. Just show up for 5 minutes, but make sure that you are consistent with it. Now, the next thing you can do is to use your willpower to eliminate distractions. Use your willpower to eliminate distractions. This is something that I also do as well. So one thing I do for sure is I notice the things that distracts me, things like social media. So I tell myself I'm not here to spend more than 2 minutes on this platform. Sometimes I'm working, I'm net deep into serious work, and then I get a notification on my phone, maybe on Instagram. I go on Instagram and I see something else that I didn't plan to watch. I see something else that I did not, I didn't budget the time for. And I tell myself, Miriam, get out of it. I just log out of it like immediately. And I shared back when I was in grad school, I used to post. Then there were no scheduling apps at the time. You had to post your post. You have to post whatever you want to post on Instagram on the spot. So what I did at the time was I did everything to eliminate distractions out of my life, because I had just 24 hours in a day, and I had to still show up for my family as a wife, as a mom, and as a student, and as an entrepreneur. And I also a fashion designer, so at the time I would post on Instagram and I would delete Instagram app on my phone. It's what you have on your phone that you can get notifications for, right? But this time there's no Instagram on my. I will post on Facebook and I'll delete Facebook app. Yes, I posted 4 times every day at the time. I'll delete the app. When it's time to post again, I'll upload. Is it upload? No, it's not upload. I'll download the app again, and I'll post. That's how much I was willing to go to eliminate distractions out of my life. So guys, tiny consistent wins will strengthen your willpower. Go ahead and start small, and then build momentum gradually. Start small. Like I said, even if it's just 5 minutes per day, just make sure that you're consistent with it. Now, every distraction uses up your self-control. Yes, every form of distraction uses up your strength. The moment you find yourself doing things that you did not plan to do or that you're not supposed to be doing, and you're allowing, that's your willpower, you're allowing yourself to keep doing those things, when you can actually pull out of it now, you are using that distraction to, it's actually not helping you. It will not help you stay consistent with the initial goal that you've set for yourself. And like I said, you can block apps. You can use mute notifications. Like you can unmute certain notifications that come maybe on WhatsApp group. Maybe it belongs to some WhatsApp group or Facebook. You can mute. Do you know you can mute yourself on some Facebook? Maybe you go on Facebook and you're not planning to go into this Facebook group, and then you see posts from the group popping up and distracting you. Have to read, and you're like, and you want to leave a comment, and you have long list of things to read. Or maybe you're seeing videos, you're on TikTok, and you're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling away. You can actually block apps. You can mute notifications, and then you can tidy up your workspace before you start. Yes, before you start your own focus time. How do you do that? You clear things that are likely going to distract you. Clear it off your desk and then start your work. Now, do you know that you can also use willpower to set up a distraction? Yes, you can. And you don't need to use it again daily. So you can actually, plan these things. Maybe you have to, download it whenever you need it, like I did back in those days. But thankfully now there are lots of scheduling apps that you pay for. I pay a lot of these apps every single month just to save time and grab time back for myself. So next thing you need to do is to create habits that take over. Yes, take habits that take over. There's some people who struggle with, devices, and they want to stop, using devices, especially kids. And this is something that has also, helped. When you have kids that are always constantly on their devices, and you want to really reduce their time on the device, you can take that device from them and replace it with something else. You can replace the device with books. Yes, you can replace the device with toys. You can replace the device with other activities, but make sure that you always replace distractions, replace it with something that you really and truly want to do. So do your task at the same time. That's another tip for you. Do your task at the same time and, same place every week until it becomes automatic. So for me, I go live every Sunday. It doesn't mean it's convenience for you. It doesn't mean I find it so easy. Like, oh, when I'm back from church, I just want to jump. No, sometimes I just want to relax. Sometimes I just want to just chill on the couch because it's a Sunday, for crying out loud, right? Everybody else is chilling. So I think everybody else is chilling at home. And another thing you can do is to pair what you want to do with the habits that you already have. So maybe every morning, for me now, I have a new habit of taking smoothie, because for the longest time I don't take breakfast, right? Even up till now, I do not. And now that I'm even trying to lose more weight, what I do, I take smoothie in the morning. So you can have, if it's smoothie for you, if it's coffee for you, right after you have your smoothie. If it's something that you must do every day, or maybe you have a daily medication that you take in the morning. So right after taking the medication, you can you can plan to do certain things. I call it triggers. Some people call it, what's that thing that they call it? I've forgotten what they call it. Something that you do that propels you to do the next thing, right? Or like having you want to work out every day because you don't want to give excuses. You have all your clothes with all your workout clothes right beside your bed before you wake up in the morning, and then you're able to wear it and go for a walk after the moment you wake up. So you can pair what your new habits, pair it with what you do daily. Yes. Like I said, maybe you want to work on filming or editing your videos, or whatever task that you want to do after taking your morning medication, or after going for your walk, or after going for your run, or whatever the case may be. And the next thing you want to do is to use willpower to protect your energy. Yes. Tired people have weak willpower. Tired people have weak this past week I was actually very weak, this past week, because I was going through a huge loss, and I also wasn't eating. Literally, I wasn't eating. I lost my appetite, and I was actually very weak. There were things I was supposed to do 2 days ago that I find myself weak at a particular time of the day. And I'm like, I know for sure God is my source, God is my strength, and He will, He will bring it back. But I want to tell you, once you're tired, you have weak willpower, you can actually get enough sleep. You can go get some rest. So you have to prioritize your sleep, you have to prioritize your rest, and you also have to prioritize breaks. Yes, so that your willpower tank is full whenever you need it. So this is a way to make sure that your tank is always full. Take your much needed rest whenever you need to, take your much needed breaks, take your much needed sleep, relax. And then for me, I always do the most important tasks when I have the most energy. I remember I have a lot of mommies here in California or in USA. One of my mommies was telling me, oh, when you wake up in the morning, I think you should take your walk because it's summer, it's really very hot. And then when you come back, you can. I said, no, mommy, that's my peak period. I call this period my peak period. My peak period is when I have the most energy. So I'm not going to spend my peak period walking. Walking is so easy. So I'd rather spend my peak period doing the most, not physically challenging, but mentally challenging tasks. Things that really need me to think and, think outside of the box and expand my, my mental capacity, So, now, this is something that you also need to put into consideration, considering who you are, your nature, what actually you're able to, what is most important for you. That is what you should do when you first wake up, or when you wake up from your nap. I think that's a great way to, to optimize your energy, or to optimize your own, your strength. Now, in summary, you can use your willpower as a strategy. So what you need to do is to set a simple goal. Yes. Set a simple goal. Why do you set a simple goal? So that you'll remove decision fatigue. Once you set a goal, you're not You're not bothered about, oh, should I, could I, would I, which one should I do? No, you've already set the goal. And then the next thing you need to do is to stick to a time or a routine, because your body and your mind will start to expect it. Once you start doing a particular thing, it's like me going live every Sunday, right? Once it's 1 p.m. on the dot, I know for sure that, my body and my mind is already expecting me to go live already. So stick to a particular time, stick to a particular routine. Do the task, even when it is hard. Yes, because you're going to prove to yourself that you can actually be consistent. Yes, so do it even when it is hard. Then please protect your energy. Protect your energy to avoid burnout. Yes, to prevent burnout. Go ahead, protect your energy by sleeping when you should, by not attending to things that will not serve you and all the good stuff. And then build a habit. Because once you build a habit, you rely less on power in the long run, becomes second nature to you. Just the way you have been able to tackle the issue of consistency, at least to a very large extent. And I hope that with these few points of mine, I have been able to convince you and not confuse you that you can actually use willpower to become consistent. So please, I want to end this live stream on this note. Start small, build momentum, and be kind to yourself in the process. Thank you all so much once again for joining me in today's episode. I remain your girl Miriam. Till I see you in my next video, keep winning and keep sparkling for your girl chances. Make sure that you check out my other videos, my grants videos, and also do well to share this video with your friend. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you next week. Oh, in 2 weeks, because I'm not going to be here next week by God's grace. All right, take care, guys, and bye for now. God bless you. Mwah, love you.